everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If the title of this video triggered you, then good, but hear me out before you all roast me in the comments, okay? Watch the video through. Here we go.
'Cause I'm not just a pretty girl.
My name is Devana. I can be reached at all of my social media links, where you are more than free to message me and DM me and send me suggestions and clips. Today, I wanted to talk about kind of the skinny elephant in the room: pageants and body image. I am a supporter and fan of pageants, so everyone should know that out the gate. Pageants to me empower women. They showcase their beauty and their strength and all the different types of women around the world, all the different types of beauty, almost. As much as pageants say they encourage women and they have this all-inclusive type attitude, there is one very obvious thing that sticks out to me, and I'm pretty sure other people as well. Though there are many different types of women on stage, there are not very many different shapes of women on stage. No matter what pageant I watch, whether it be Miss Universe, Miss USA, Miss Supranational, Miss Grand, Miss Earth, all of them, there seems to be one very specific type of body that pageants are willing to accept. I understand that there is a segment of pageants that is all about fitness and health. To me, that is extremely important, especially in a world where we're having, especially in America, problems with overweight and obesity issues. So I am not saying we need to change that standard. I'm not even saying that pageants and Miss Universe need to be more attainable, because it's a competition and it's not meant to be attainable. And I hate when people use that for anything. We don't ask the Olympics to make their competitions more attainable, slow down the track racers so it's more realistic for everyday people. No, be quiet. But to me, pageants really miss the mark when it comes to inclusivity. I love the high standards of Miss Universe. I love that it's something aspirational and it's not meant to be easy. Being in a pageant, being Miss Universe is not easy, so it's not meant to be attainable. So don't put that in the comments because I'm not hearing it. But there are different packages of beauty and health that the all-inclusive Miss Universe and Grand and Supranational and Earth and International are not representing. When I go through and I watch any pageant, it's very clear to me that there is a clear standard and type of body that they insist on crowning or having represented on that stage. And I rarely see anything outside of it. Most of the time, every woman on that stage is a size 0. I feel like I'm hard pressed to find a size 2, but to me, it is unheard of for me to be able to see a size 4, 6, 8, or 10 on the Miss Universe stage. To me, those body sizes are still beautiful and are still healthy. The average size woman, I believe, in the United States is a size 16, and I'm not advocating that we put the average size American woman on the Miss Universe stage or any pageant stage, because number one, Miss Universe is not average, and number two, I don't believe it's healthy. But there is no reason that we can't have size 6 queens represented on the stage when they are perfectly healthy and beautiful. Here is a representation of what I'm talking about before the people in the comments begin to roast me on how I am trying to make Miss Universe fat or how I'm trying to make the queens fat. Stop it, because you're part of the issue. Size 4, 6, 8, and 10, they're not fat. They are perfectly healthy and beautiful. Once again, here's some representation of what that looks like. And if you want to pick on me, then fine. I don't mind putting up my very own pictures. I have been, and probably may do again, I have been a fitness competitor and I have been very small. So here's a photo of me. I don't know where I'm putting it. Here's a photo of me at my thinnest and my smallest. My muscles were pronounced. I had abs. I was extremely tiny, the smallest I've ever been. And even my mother was just, she did not know how to react. And at this size, I was more of a size 4. I was barely a size 2. And I remember because I was trying on pageant dresses in the Noel store in downtown Los Angeles. And I was able to get into a size 2 of like that gold Sherry Hill blinged out dress. And it still was super tight. So I was barely squeezing into a size 2 at this. But for me, I was still very, very small. Here are more photos of me at size 4 and a picture of me at a size 6. And then here's me at a size 8-10. In all of these pictures, I am able to wear a swimsuit. I am still tight and firm. I don't have like jiggly bits everywhere. Even at my size 8-10, I'm still thick and I have thick thighs, but I'm still fit. I don't have a belly. It is possible for women to be represented on stage in larger sizes without foregoing the high standards that Miss Universe likes to present. And it really irritates me that every time a queen steps on stage, or a potential queen steps on stage, and she's of a larger size, every time I see the comments and I'm watching the fans, because I do watch other fans and their reactions, they tear her apart. Catriona Bray, after she won Miss Universe, about 2 months later, it was very obvious that she gained about 10 pounds. Okay. I'm sure she was dieting throughout Miss Universe, which is one thing that I think needs to stop. These women should not feel like they have to diet and be the tiniest, smallest, pin-thin size to compete. But Catriona obviously did do that, and after she won, she allowed herself a little bit of celebration time and gained a little bit of weight. Not enough, not a lot, but enough for the fans to go absolutely crazy on her, calling her all types of names for having gained weight. About 10 pounds. Catriona was still smaller than me or many of the pictures that I showed you guys, but fans roasted her. And this is the issue that I have with pageants, because it seems like pageants are kind of allowing this, making it abnormal to be of a larger size and making it seem like you're almost unworthy if you are of a larger size. And I need this to stop. I need this to stop. One, because most of the girls that I see on pageant stages, I think are beautiful. I think they are beautiful. I follow last year's Miss Albania still on my Instagram. She's gorgeous. But to me, there's a difference between being beautiful and being attractive. Myself and my own preference, I think it's more attractive to be of a larger size. I think size 6s tend to be a little bit more attractive because when they wear bikinis, they have something to put in the bikinis. You know, they actually fill out those suits, which most of these girls typically would do if not for Miss Universe and other pageants perpetuating the beauty standard that they need to be the size of a 6-year-old adolescent child, which is not an exaggeration because that's about the size of my little brother. I have seen changes kind of taking shape in the United States this past Miss USA. As I was watching, there was a few girls, and even in Sarah Rose Summers, when she was Miss USA last year, there was a few girls that seemed to me to be a bit thicker. Obviously they weren't fat. They were probably around a size 4 or 6 still, but I could see them presenting a thicker shape. And if you go back and watch those videos, you see, I think it was Iowa came out and I was clapping my hands calling her corn-fed because I could see all her lady curves. When she wore that bikini, she filled it out, but she still had abs. She still had leg muscles. Like she looked great. Georgia from Sarah Rose Summers 2018 Miss USA. Georgia came out with a banging body. Like she had a tiny little waist and her upper body was still very slight, but then you hit those legs and thighs and it was like hot. Good Lord. Georgia strutted down. Oh my God. I still obviously get excited about Georgia. Don't get confused. I don't date females, but I appreciate a good looking woman when I see one, and Georgia had me on the edge of my seat. I was like, yes, girl. So USA seems to have been letting more shapes on stage, but I feel like even the United States can do better. And I know everyone will argue that, well, it's not Miss Universe or it's not even the countries that are selecting their delegates, it's the region and state pageants. Well, the state pageants are really only going by the judging standards of Miss Universe and past seasons and renditions of the competition. I feel like in California, we're part of the problem in perpetuating this standard beauty type. Last year's Miss California, or the current reigning Miss California that's getting ready to give up her title soon, she was of that standard beauty pageant body type. And I feel like California purposely looks for girls for the way they look, like that model-esque type, before they will consider a lot of other things like her speaking ability or performance, because California was gorgeous. Our current California is beautiful, but her performance on stage for Miss USA was not what I expected. And I've been getting a lot of that from California ever since I think Nadia was crowned. The Californias after that they're leaning more towards what she looks like than what like how good of a queen she would be if she's a potential Miss USA. In the United States, I feel like the more successful states are the one perpetuating this body stereotype type of thing. I see more variation coming from, I don't want to say lesser states, but less successful states. Meanwhile, California, Texas, and New York seem to be upholding that standard and will not give a chance to women of different body sizes and types, from what I'm seeing. And I do keep an eye on state pageants as much as I possibly can. So I'm seeing different bodies come from states that don't have the amount of resources or training that these other major states have. Also, I feel like in other countries, they are even more or less willing than the United States to allow variations of different bodies on stage. Bini Bini Filipinas, the Filipino beauty pageant that sends their representatives to Miss World, Miss International, Miss Universe. I don't think I have ever seen a size 4, 6, 8, 10 on their stage. And Filipinos, you guys are ruthless, absolutely ruthless when it comes to your pageant queens. I feel so bad for them. I understand that you guys are super fans, and because you're super fans is half the reason I love you guys so much, and I have every intention of going to visit the Philippines. However, Filipinos tend to be so strict with their standard of beauty that I feel like women wouldn't even dare attempt to compete as a larger size because they know they would be ripped to shreds by pageant fans. I'm just saying, I feel like everybody needs to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to the types of beauty that we admire and put on a pedestal. There needs to be more encouragement for these women to be allowed to be themselves. And is that a goddamn spider? Is that a spider in my, oh heck no. I just think pageant fans, coordinators, directors, the leadership of these communities and these competitions needs to be more open-minded when it comes to the type of beauty that they are allowing on stage and the way that they are judging these women and how they are treating them. We need to encourage more body positivity when it comes to the variation of sizes, and allow these women to be comfortable and be themselves and not make them feel like they need to be so thin to compete. Because there's been a few women that I felt uncomfortable looking at because of how tiny they were. Some people are just naturally that thin. I understand that, but out of 120 women that are presented on the Miss Universe stage, for them all to have the same body is not an accident. These women are being driven to diet, being driven to be thin, when most of them are not naturally that way. You are not gonna tell me that these Latinas are naturally size zeros. BS. Clarissa Molina, who I follow on Instagram, I saw a picture of her after she competed, maybe a couple months later. I was floored at the amount of weight that she gained. Not because she didn't look good, because baby had a booty and everything. I was just thinking in my head, she looks happier. This is the true her. And when I looked at the comparison between the two pictures, I felt really bad that she felt she had to go so far in order to make it on the Miss Universe stage. That shouldn't have been a factor. I shouldn't have to feel that I have to go to extreme lengths and torture myself dieting in order to step on stage. At this size, the pageant community would have called me fat. At this size, I did compete. And I overheard people talking about the size of my thighs, saying that they were too big to win. My legs were too large in order for me to be crowned. I wasn't thin enough. At this size, I was this way because I had just finished a fitness competition. So when they were judging my legs and they were judging my thighs, because I had just finished a fitness competition and a few weeks later was the pageant, which I did that on purpose so I wasn't dieting all year, my legs were solid muscle. My legs had barely a sliver of fat in them. So I was basically the peak of health and fitness, and people were still judging me because of my size. At that point in time, when I competed for that pageant, I was a size 4. And like I said, I had just got off stage from a fitness competition and my body was still, right and tight. For this pageant, honestly, I had to make sure that I softened up a little bit so that my muscles wouldn't protrude through so much to where people were saying I was overly muscular or manly. I was a size 4, and people still made me feel very insecure about myself. The fitness community realizes there's different sizes of fitness, and the pageant community needs to learn that as well. And another thing the pageant community needs to understand is just because you're skinny does not mean you are healthy or fit. I need to stress that. There is a such thing as skinny fat. Just because you are thin does not mean you are fit, does not mean you don't have cellulite, does not mean any of those things. So when I'm looking at women and I'm seeing who I believe is the best, I'm looking for actual fitness. Women who look healthy, women who look like they've taken care of themselves, women who look like they work out a little bit. If you're skin and bones, then you have no muscle mass and I can see your rib cage, I really don't think that's attractive. Rib cages are not attractive. They're just not. And while I'm here, I might as well mention the Miss America organization. For those of you who are outside of the United States, Miss America is a very old and treasured pageant in the United States. It doesn't have an international competition, but it is still very predominant here. Miss America got rid of the bikini portion of competition. Gretchen said it was because they wanted to have a new type of competition where women weren't judged on how they look. Empowering women is about accepting all the things that a woman can be. A woman can be strong, a woman can be beautiful, a woman can be smart, a woman can be sexy, all at the same time. That's what pageants are all about. It's about being a well-rounded woman. You can't just look good and win Miss Universe, and you can't just be smart and win Miss Universe. You have to be everything. It's a competition of perfection. And I've said it before, walking on stage in a bikini is not about just showing your health and overall physicality. It's about showing that you can be put in the most vulnerable state of your life in front of people who are there to judge you and still be yourself and still be confident and still rock that one runway no matter what anybody who's looking at you thinks. That's what the bikini portion of competition was for. If Miss America had wanted to empower women, then instead of getting rid of the bikini portion of the competition, they simply would have allowed larger women to compete in bikinis, allowing the world to see that size 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12s can be just as confident as size 0 and 2 as well. But to me, it came off as, well, Miss America wants to be more inclusive of other women and other body types. So let's get rid of the bikini portion so that they don't have to get on stage because nobody wants to see that. That's what it came off to me. If you want these women to be empowered, then let them show their curves just like everybody else and be proud of it. I do. Whether I have been a size 4 or a size 10, I have pictures on my Instagram in bikinis at all those sizes because I love myself and I love my body and I am not ashamed of how I look. There are times where I pick on myself. There are times, many times, even now, where I'm not satisfied. But women would be more accepting of themselves if the world were more accepting of them. So I'm really hoping that the Miss Universe organizations and their partner countries and their regional organizations start judging women differently, start looking at women differently, and we can start seeing more variation on these pageant stages. Because right now, a lot of the women that I see walking Miss Universe, Miss USA, Miss Universe Philippines, all the different competitions, some of these competitors are so small they would not be allowed to walk in Milan's Fashion Week. If you don't know why I'm saying that, Milan has banned super thin women for perpetuating a dangerous beauty stereotype to the masses. So you have to be of a certain size in order to walk in Milan Fashion Week. You cannot be underweight because it's not healthy. So like I said before you guys attack me in the comments, I do not want to change the standards, the very, very high standards of Miss Universe and Miss Grand International and Miss International. I don't want to change standards at all. You women should be fit and healthy and flawless. I demand it because I love watching you beautiful creatures so much. So I am not advocating for pageants to present a more attainable bodies type. That's not what I'm saying. These women are like walking goddesses. It's not meant to be attainable. It's a fantasy. So I really hope we all reach a level of open-mindedness and that other countries besides the United States begin to change how they judge these women and begin to be more accepting as the Miss Universe organization says that they are. I would really like for them to prove it. I would really love to see some Latinas with a J-Lo booty. I love seeing that on stage. I love it when your bikinis fit well. I know this is going to be a hot topic. I know that there's going to be some debate. Everybody be nice to each other down in the comments, and please let me know what you think, because I am honestly very curious on everybody else's stance on this issue and this topic and what they think of the body standards that are presented currently in pageants. Are you one of the people who really believe they just should be really tiny, or do you think there should be more variation, and how much variation? I personally don't believe that there should be anyone over a size 10, 12 on stage. Maybe you're different. I respect everybody's opinion, but I'm really curious to see where everyone stands, and let me know what country you're from, because I know that different countries have different standards, and I'm not oblivious to our cultural and biological differences. Asians tend to be a bit thinner and slimmer than the Latin community, so I understand that. I'm definitely going to be watching in the comments to see what you guys have to say. I'm very curious about this, but I put my own feelings out there, just my opinion. Also, of course, I will be doing a reaction video for Miss Universe this year. I'm so excited, and it was just announced yesterday that Miss Universe will be beginning on December 8th in the United States. I don't know where in the US yet, but that's when it's happening. So I have marked my calendar. I will not be going to work. I will be doing the reaction videos. Some of you have asked and requested that I kind of do a video for my top 16 before going into the initial pageant and kind of review the contestants that I've seen so far, which I want to do. I definitely want to do that video. I have not seen all of the girls, and I'm not sure all of their videos and information is on YouTube. So if you know of a contestant that I need to look into in order to make that video, or if you want to see my opinion on a specific contestant, or you know the location of certain information or videos that I need to see in order to make a very good top 16 or opinion contestant video before the pageant, hit me up in my email. Go to my Instagram and DM me, send me links, like give me information, guys. I welcome it so that I can get more into pageant videos and pageant topics before we get to Miss Universe, because I know you've been asking for them. I am listening. Just give me the information, please. Okay, I will see all of you lovely people later. I look forward to hearing from all of you, and I will definitely respond. By the way, this is my house. I am filming in a different segment of it, my living room, with my fall decorations and my cinnamon candle that's going. I have this big window in front of me, so I think I'm gonna do some more filming just using this window. But when I'm decorating, I have some handcrafted antique murals back here. There's one on the floor because it's huge. But yes, this is my house. Okay, I'm done. I will see you all later. Kisses, bye.